Hi 4K and 5K friends, it's Mrs. Dom. I'm so excited to be here with you again today. And guess what, guys? We're talking some more about kindness today. Now, we've talked about being kind to others, and we've talked about how other people are kind to you. And today we're going to talk about how you can be kind to yourself. We're going to read a book called A Quiet Place by Douglas Wood. And the story is about a little boy who is kind to himself by finding a quiet place to be when he needs to take a break. So please enjoy the story, and I'll be back at the end to talk to you a little bit more. A Quiet Place by Douglas Wood. Sometimes a person needs a quiet place. A place to rest your ears from bells ringing and whistles shrieking and grown-ups talking and engines roaring and horns blaring and grown-ups talking and radios playing and grown-ups, well, even grown-ups need a quiet place sometimes. But it can be hard to find one. You have to know where to look. You could look under a bush, a lilac bush in your own backyard. When you crawl underneath it, all the sounds of the world seem soft and far away, and you can be a pirate finding buried treasure on a desert island. A bush could be your quiet place. Until someone calls you to clean your room. Then you could look in the woods. You might find an old stump for a chair or a mossy log for a couch. In a green mansion of shadows and sunbeams, it's not really quiet, of course. Blue jays scream warnings and wind sings in the leaves, but it feels quiet, and you can be a timber wolf, the gray ghost of the forest. The woods could be your quiet place. But if the woods are too dark and deep, you could look by the sea, on a beach in the early morning fog. Your footprints are the first of the day. The waves are roaring and the gulls are crying, but it doesn't seem noisy, and you can just be an explorer discovering a lost continent. The beach could be your quiet place. But if the beach is not your cup of tea, you could look in the desert, where Old Man Saguaro reaches for the sky and far-off thunderheads boom. Like sky flowers over the mesas, a cactus wren drops in for a visit, while a horned toad blinks in the sun, and you can be a Pony Express rider galloping through the Old West. The desert could be your quiet place. But if the desert is a bit too dry, you could sit by a pond. A heron on the shore stands still as a tree branch, and the water is so calm it looks like a mirror. Then a frog plops from a lily pad, and your face begins to wiggle, and you can be the world's greatest fisherman, reeling in a monster catch. A pond could be your quiet place. But if the fish aren't biting, you could look in a cavern where every footstep echoes and the slow drip-drip of water builds new rocks that hang like icicles or stand like sculptures, where days and nights and weeks and years are all the same, and you can be a cave dweller in the lair of the saber-toothed tiger. A cave could be your quiet place, but if a cave is too cold and damp, you could climb to the top of a hill where clouds float by like ships. For alligators or elephants, on a hilltop you can see a long way and think long thoughts about how and what and why, and you can be a mountain climber on top of the world. A hilltop could be your quiet place, but if your legs are too tired from climbing, you could wait for a snowy day and lie down in a snowdrift. All around you the falling snow whispers, shh, and wraps the world in silence. If you listen closely, you can almost hear it breathing. You breathe softly too, pretending to be a polar bear sleeping in a land where the snowy silence never ends. A snowdrift could be your quiet place. But if it's too warm for snowdrifts, you could visit a museum where brass tigers and bronze lions stand silent guard over fabulous treasures. Every painting is a magic window that your own imagination can open wide and climb through, and you can be an artist admiring your own masterpiece. A museum could be your quiet place, but if the museum is closed for renovation, you could go to a secret corner of the library where only people talking are between the covers of books. They speak so softly you can only hear them in your head as you read about forests and oceans and deserts and caverns and museums and 1,000 other things. A library could be your quiet place, but if the library isn't open yet, you could come home and clean your room and read your own books and think your own thoughts and feel your own feelings and discover the very best quiet place of all, the one that's always there no matter where you go or where you stay. The one inside of you. The end. So, boys and girls, what I love about this story is that it helps me to think about what is my quiet place at home. Maybe your quiet place is someplace in the backyard. Maybe it's your bed. Maybe it's the corner of your couch. Or maybe it's a person like your mom or dad or a brother or sister or a grandma or a grandpa that you can go to and talk to when you need to share your feelings with somebody. My special quiet place is the outside backyard. The garden, no matter what time of year, is my special quiet place that makes me feel better. So here we are, boys and girls, in my backyard, my special quiet place. What's your special quiet place or your special person? Let me know. Thanks, guys. See you again.